What is up, you guys? Wonder Bro here with a new microphone. Now, I've never used one of these microphones. I see them used all the time, but I've never used one, so I don't know if I'm holding it at the correct distance away from myself, if this is going to be too loud. I don't know what to expect, but we're just going to roll with it. So, in today's video, are you thinking about your thoughts? This is an interesting question. There's a lot of people who don't even know thinking and thoughts are two different things. So, I want you to think of thinking as what you've got your focus on, right? Everybody knows what it means to focus on something. If you are trying to send a text message and there's a lot of distractions going on around you, you focus a little bit harder on sending that text message because you have to, or else you're going to get distracted. Same concept with anxiety. Are you thinking about your thoughts, right? Which means, are you focused on your thoughts, or are you focused on other things? That is a big question. If you can answer that question for yourself honestly, you will come to many conclusions. So, what that looks like is this: you're having a bunch of anxious, intrusive thoughts, or one sticky, anxious, intrusive thought, or you're having symptoms, right? Where's your focus? Ask yourself, where's your focus? Okay. You can label those thoughts and feelings. You can get in there with what's called the accepting inner voice, non engagement responses. So the feelings and thoughts are there. You're feeling really bothered. You can come in and say something like, hey, I'm not going to take the bait on that. There's nothing to obsess about. It is what it is, whatever you want your accepting inner voice to be. But at that point, two keys: you need to go back to living life. Now, when I say go back to living life, I mean with your focus. When I say go back to living life, positive behaviors, it's great if you're doing those things, but you really want to focus on those things while you do them. That means as you're doing the dishes, as you're making tacos, as you are taking a shower, you are thinking about what you're doing, okay? You are thinking about other things other than anxiety. Now, this isn't me trying to say that you should be up in your head trying to think positively about your thoughts, right? Arguing with your thoughts or fighting with your thoughts. That's not going to happen because ABCD. This is me just saying, use your accepting inner voice. Hey, that's the disorder. There's my anxious feelings. There's that thought. Not going to take the bait. I wonder what I'm going to do tomorrow. I wonder if I should check on the garden. I've got a great garden, right? I wonder that I do have a great garden, but I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just giving you examples here of things you can say to yourself that involve thinking about normal life instead of thinking so much about your own thoughts. Are you thinking about your thoughts? So if you're using my two keys, accepting inner voice, hey, I'm not going to take that bait. It is what it is. Go right back to positive behaviors. If you're doing that, but then as you're doing your positive behaviors, you are sitting there totally honed in and focused on thinking about your thoughts, then maybe it's time to introduce other trains of thought. Again, that's not me saying to fight with those intrusive thoughts. That's me saying just think about things in life. Think about your real life. Think about things going on around you as you do your positive behavior, right? Like, let's say you get that sticky, intrusive thought and you say to that, hey, it is what it is, not going to take the bait, or whatever you say. And then you're like, okay, now I'm going to finish the dishes. As you're doing those dishes, think about doing the dishes if you'd like to. Okay. Think about what you're going to do for the rest of your day. Plan the rest of your day out. Think about your family, your friends. Think about that TV show. Think about what you're doing. Don't think about your own thoughts. The thoughts can be there. The feelings can be there, but don't sit there and focus on them. Don't sit there and think about them. They can be there in the background, but do your positive behaviors and think about life, right? So it's pretty easy to do. If thinking was done out loud, everybody would be totally aware of how much negative thinking they do about their own thoughts and feelings, how much obsessing they do about their own thoughts and feelings. But thinking is done in the head. So a lot of people go around in their head all day long thinking about their thoughts, thinking about their feelings, and not thinking about anything else. And they wonder why they're in a constant state of anxiety. So remember, if you're going to use my two main keys, which is live your life as if you're already healed, those positive behaviors help show the brain the tiger isn't real, and that accepting inner voice, no longer following your thoughts down the rabbit hole, that's great. But I want you to think about other things in life. I want you to get engaged in other things in life. So the thought is there, the feelings are there, you're doing your positive behaviors, you're just living your life, but you're also focusing on what you're doing. You're thinking about what you're doing, right? So if you notice you drift back off into thinking about your thoughts again, for example, that's when you need to say, okay, but should I think about how I want to make my bed today? And then you make your bed and you're thinking about making your bed, and you're thinking about what you're going to do for the rest of the day, and you're thinking about the movie you're watching. You're actively focused on generating thinking that's about other things rather than anxiety disorder, right? Now, I want to address this. Does that mean you then have to go around 24/7 making sure that you think about other things? Not necessarily, right? But if you are locked in on thinking about nothing but your thoughts and feelings all day long, it would be helpful, right? It would be helpful to then purposely think about other things that are not related to anxiety. So again, you don't necessarily have to go around thinking about other things all day long and making sure you're doing that. But if you are constantly thinking about your anxious thoughts, your feelings, the anxiety disorder, recovery, then as you're doing these positive behaviors, it could be helpful for you to purposely get involved in other trains of thought and thinking about other things that are not anxiety disorder. Again, that doesn't mean fighting with your thoughts and feelings. It just means choosing to think about things that's not freaking anxiety disorder for once in your life, right? So the thoughts and feelings are there. You're living your life, you're doing your positive behaviors, and you're purposely engaging in and focusing and thinking about the things you're doing that are not anxiety disorder. Thoughts will still be there, feelings will still be there, but you're not actively locked in on them and thinking about them. Okay? So allow what is to be and think about other things. Think about other things, not in a way where it's like, oh God, don't think that. Don't think about your thoughts. Don't think about your feelings. Think about other things. More in a way that's like, the thought is there, but I'm choosing to think about what's for dinner, right? So it's training what you choose to engage in, what you choose to think about. If you're engaged in something, you're probably thinking about it. So choose to engage in other things that are not anxiety disorder. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below if you made it all the way to the end. Comment down below and let me know. We're running out of these things to do. Let me know what your favorite candy is. I love you guys. If you're interested in coaching with me, reach out to me on any of the Vacate Fear social media. I'll get you on the phone, or we can do messaging if you're more comfortable with that. And we'll work together one-on-one if you need that extra little boost, that extra little push. Love you guys. Stay awesome.